We've always run an academy, so education, coaching for podcasters. And I've been thinking a lot recently about how we enhance that, how we take it away from just courses towards something that's actually much more action-based, something that actually helps people do stuff. And I came across a model recently, which I found really useful for this. And it was in $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. Have you come across this, Gav, at all?
I've read the book, yeah.
Title aside, I hate the fact that it's named that, because it's actually got some really useful, cool stuff inside it. But put that aside, this model in it really stood out to me because I have found in the past, like thinking about solutions to, the problems that podcasters have, you end up just sort of listing out some of the questions you were asked and like try to figure out generally courses and things like that as well. But what it takes you through is, I suppose you could call it the what's next model. I don't think he actually had an official name in it in the book, but it was around what's next. So you think about when somebody commits to your solution or commits to your action, I guess it is, because for us, that's somebody decides they want to start a podcast. So they come along, they say, right, I know I want to start a podcast. I have made that decision. Now, what's next? What's the next problem they experience after that? So for us, commonly, the first one is gear. As rightly or wrongly, it shouldn't be. They should be thinking about other things first, but it's almost always the first person thinking about is microphones. And so how can we help people with that? So I don't know why, but that model just started me thinking more about actions and tools and resources rather than straight courses. Because in the past, I would always just make a little course about what mic to buy. But instead, I thought, well, actually, the problem is, like, how do they choose the mic? So maybe I create a mic chooser tool instead, or maybe I create a little checklist that guides them, or a flowchart that guides them to the right thing, something like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. Right, what's next? After they've solved that, okay, maybe now they finally get round to the topic and the audience. All right, what can I do there? So I've got a course, but actually he gives a load of examples around different types of solutions as well. And the whole mindset around as well, thinking about not just things that are realistic, but going a bit crazy. Like if you had all the money in the world and all the time in the world, what's the solution to this problem that comes next? And so if it's topic, maybe, it comes anything from, it's just a small course, right up to I turn up in their office for a day and actually work through, like, think about their whole business and their product and everything and how that ties into the pod. So I went through this and I went through like 15, 20 different what nexts. And it actually gave me so many ideas around different types of products, different types of solutions, different little tools and resources that we can build around it. So I found that really, really useful. I just thought it was a great structure. Have you actually used that, Gav, in anything you've done since you read the book?
I love that as well. I think it's because they say like information is easy to get. It's the implementation part that's always hard.
Yeah.
Keeps people back. So I've always been a big fan of like creating a roadmap of some form. So we had a small membership site back in the day, and we found that the most successful part of that was essentially creating a roadmap, which was a series of courses in order of the way that people should be doing it. And I guess it's probably similar to the work that we do at the agency as well. It's like, right, client onboards, right, what's next? It's, well, we need to do X, Y, Z and carry on. So I probably, I've never thought about it from Hormozi's perspective of like, what's next? Well, maybe a tool is good here. Maybe some in-person time is good here. Maybe a blog post is fine here. But I love the concept of just like, I mean, it sounds basic, doesn't it? But like step by step, walking somebody through what they need in what moment. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, it is. It seems really simple, but there was something about it, and I've told so many people about it since then as well. And sometimes they look at me a bit like, well, it sounds a bit obvious, doesn't it? And I'm like, well, have you done it? And it just, there is something about that sequence and thinking about it that way and putting it in there. It doesn't just have to be teaching them something. So yeah, I love it. It's cool.
What I got from it is that it's a mindset switch, and that's why it seems so silly and simple. It's particularly from the perspective of what products you should make, what tools you should make, what lead magnets you should make, rather than I think what people default to is they try and just build something, anything, rather than first thinking about actually what is the most powerful sell and then building that. They usually do it the other way around. They build it and then they figure out how to sell it. But if you figure out what it is and how to sell it first before you even make it, I think you're putting yourself in a much better position.